All right, everyone, Phil here, and welcome to yet another Phil Reacts video. This one is a private video for a patron who requested some unique stuff. This patron has requested for the first time ever, this is an actual first, I've never done this before, I'm reacting to someone else's reaction. And as you can see, apparently it is a very popular streamer by the name of xQc. I don't know who this is. I've never watched this person ever. So I don't actually know much about what we're about to watch. It looks like he is about to react to Bill Nye, the science guy, answering questions about science. So we're going to watch Bill Nye, and we're going to watch xQc react to Bill Nye, and I'm going to react to xQc reacting to Bill Nye. Interesting. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to give it a shot. As I said, I don't know anything about this guy. I mean, as you can see, this guy's setup is obviously far superior to mine. Doesn't have a border on his camera, has no lighting. But he's a humongous streamer, apparently. You know, I even think 3 years ago I had a border on my camera. But it is what it is. We're not here to criticize his setup. We're here to react to his content. So without further ado, let's do this. I react to xQc. That is not what I wanted to do. His 2 million subscribers. Okay, here we go.
Let's just try it. We'll see what goes.
To answer some of your science questions, this is science.
I have to eat also before we play games.
Can't see you stream so much. Toggles xQc.
Angel Supreme could be Angel Suprema. If the Earth is round, why doesn't all the water fall off? Water is held on the Earth by gravity. And get this, so is the air. Wait, there's more. Not only is the Earth gravitationally pulling on the water is ever so slightly gravitationally pulling on the Earth. Whoa.
To pulling each other.
See, this is Isaac Newton's insight. He saw the apple fall off the tree, and he realized that not only is the Earth somehow pulling the apple
Ah, I gotta say something, guys. Look at his setup. So his setup is he's in the upper left-hand corner. No border, no lighting. Looks terrible. And when he talked, I didn't hear a word he said. It was echoing like crazy. On the right-hand side, now you can't really see it because I'm blocking it with my camera. He's got his Twitch chat going fucking crazy. Insane. It's just not readable. It's just insane amounts of shit. So I don't even know what the point is of having the chat like that on screen because he's so popular you can't read it. Then under the chat, he's got a pop-up notification and a noise when he gets a contribution. So you got an illegible chat, distracting noises playing, and you can't even hear the guy. 2.2 million subscribers on YouTube, one of the most popular streamers there is today, right? But I get criticism for my setup sometimes. It's like, okay, bro. All right, let's continue. Let's see if I can understand a word that he says.
but the apple is mutually, gravitationally pulling the Earth up. Like, dude, that's so out there. I know, I know. Miss Misery, how charming. My dad, I don't get the internet. Seriously, where does it come from?
He's also blocking the questions with his camera. So I can't read the question to confirm what it is because it's blocked. Then he's talking over Bill Nye reading the question, so I can't hear the question. Delightful.
Like,
Not sure if the show's still plays, but that old episodes are so fake it's funny.
We are able to store information. For example, an alphabet or numbers can be represented by a code that everyone's agreed on.
Hey,
and the code is a pattern or system.
He's fucking he's eating? He's eating. Are you making content or are you having a meal? Is the meal your content or the video? This is absolutely positively a pet peeve of mine I must address. If you are a professional, all right, when you go to work, is the first thing you do when you sit down at your desk to work start eating a fucking giant sandwich or burger? No, you're at work now. It's time to work. Treat your audience with respect. Don't fucking eat in front of them a big fucking disgusting messy meal. And then you're doing, oh, I'm going to talk with my mouth full and try to pretend like this is content. It's not, all right? Do I eat on camera? I do. It's called Feasting with the King. It's an actual segment where we're doing the segment focused on the food and reviewing the food. That's different than, oh, I'm reacting to Bill Nye, but you can't understand a word of anything I'm saying because my fucking mouth is full of food. It's disgusting. It's fucking disrespectful. It's a waste of everyone's time. So far, I'm a minute into this video, and I already hate it.
From Google Music to get the stream started, xQcl.
Thanks, John. I muted it for 5 minutes.
Of binary bits,
What?
This is to say either ons or offs. And you, sir, Miss Misery's dad. I'll bet you're of a certain age where you remember Morse code. Morse code's the same thing. It's either a dot or a dash, a dit or a da. So we've taken it to a whole nother level of dits and das.
What?
Where we are able to store.
I'm
and
so lost 'cause
transmit
I didn't hear the
billions
question.
And trillions and quadrillions and sextillions of bits to represent language, numbers.
You know how that works, right, chat? The reason why I think computers were so big is that the technology.
He's picking food out of his
write,
teeth.
Store and read bits was big, right? And the squares they would put the data on, whether it was a 0 or 1, was big, right? So overall, the disk or the things they would put data on had to be bigger. And with technology, they want to make smaller and smaller, now micro squares that were being read by a very, very small needle, right? That says whether it's a 0 or 1. And then, when in your computer, right, you delete something, you tell your computer, yo, dude, this entire area are now available for rewriting, right? Instead of erasing them because that would take too much time, right? They're like marked as, available now, dude, right? You guys know that? And it's a magnetic needle that changes the polarity, right? The magnetism of every square from a 0 to a 1.
Calculations. And you are part of this greater whole. What a time to be alive, man. Way to go. Chelsea Briggs. Whoa. Did a meteor just hit my...
At least he moved his camera, so now we can read the questions. Now that we're 3 minutes into his react of this Bill Nye video. What the fuck did he just say? First of all, there's such a booming echo in the room he's talking in. I can barely understand what he's saying. And that's not my setup. He actually has a giant echo in this video. I can't understand. And then on top of that, he has an accent that makes it harder to understand because he has an accent on top of a booming echo. And then he starts talking about magnetic needle changing polarity of squares to be 0s to 1s on a giant magnetic square. Do you think anyone in his chat has a fucking idea what the fuck he just said? No.
Home state of Michigan? Everyone is calling me. Is the world coming to an end? I would say,
science.
based on my presence here, you can't see it, but there's a crew of camera and audio people here. I don't think the world ended as we know it. Just judging insofar as you were able to send the text, I bet the world didn't end for you either. So once in a while, a meteor streaks through the sky. Now, for fun, I'll give you these 3 words. Meteor means something streaking through the sky. Meteor has to do with the sky in Greek. A meteorite is what you call it when it makes it all the way to the Earth's surface as an intact rock.
Oh.
An asteroid is different. A comet is different. I guess that's 4
Interesting.
words. But yeah, meteors come into our atmosphere, streak through the sky all the time. Meteorites once in a while. If you like to worry about things.
Chat, if a meteor comes close, it means it could have hit the Earth, right? Why doesn't it hit it?
You're living at a great time because we discovered that...
Chat, if a meteor comes close and didn't hit the Earth, why didn't it hit it? What the fuck is going on in this video? This is what he had to add. This was his reaction content to the Bill Nye video.
The ancient dinosaurs were almost certainly wiped out by a great big asteroid or a cluster of asteroids. Le du noir. Why can't I walk through solid objects if all I'm made of is neurons, protons, and electrons?
There's a force
so
holding them together.
I think you tossed in the word neuron
Burns up.
when you may have meant neutron.
Yeah.
But neurons enable you to think about this. And keep in mind that protons and electrons are not all you're made of. There's also some energy driving these things around, making them interact. And there are these fabulous subatomic particles. The subatomic particles are in turn made of others, even smaller particles, quarks. And so these things all interact. And if you like...
What exactly is xQc adding to this video? He's literally just sitting here stuffing his fucking face. His whole comment on the meteor was, what happens if a meteor gets close to the Earth and doesn't hit it? Why is that? And he just continued to eat. As apparently thousands of people watched him do this. This is his content.
Wonder about things. This is a great thing. We are made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. And
The guy who wrote that had no neurons.
The reason you can't walk through solid objects, the reason objects like you are solid is because these things, especially the electrons, repel each other. So when you try to push on something, the electrons repel each other so strongly that we perceive it as a solid object. All the electrons, neutrons, and protons came together, and they were almost entirely made of exploded ancient stars. So you and I are made of stardust.
That's cool.
You and I are at least one way that the universe knows itself. Whoa. I hope that fills you with reverence.
Okay.
I hope you stop and think
We've
about
got charismatic scientist, entertaining, informative, funny, interesting. In the corner we have streamer, stuffing face, saying nothing, adding nothing. And by the way, I have to quantify what I'm saying here. This is the first time I've ever seen this person. I had absolutely no idea who he was. I've never heard his voice before. I've never seen a piece of this person's content before. People have told me, this guy, xQc, is huge. Wow. Well, judging by what we're seeing in his chat, you can't see the chat because my camera's blocking it. Judging by the intelligence level that we're seeing in this guy's chat as he makes content, I think we understand why.
that at least once every day. Middle school Spanish.
That's true. That's true because nothing is gained, nothing is lost. Everything is transformed. So even when you're born, you're like your mom's transformed nutrients.
Seats in the front of the plane the best to avoid turbulence. Generally, especially swept aircraft will do this. And it reminded some aeronautical engineers of a Dutch person on ice skates. So traditionally it's called Dutch roll. And you damp out the Dutch roll with the rudder on the vertical tail. So yeah, generally the front of an airplane is smoother than the back, but this is a pretty subtle effect in the modern world. Maybe
I missed the question about airplanes.
MD-80 or DC-9.
I'm sorry, what he said was just so mind-numbingly, insanely stupid and vapid that it actually made me miss the question, and I don't know what Bill Nye's talking about.
Dash 9 aircraft, or
wow.
maybe even on MD-80 and maybe even an old 707, you'd feel that. But nowadays,
I knew that already.
Why? Because of the coupling of stability and control and our understanding of computers and our ability to have computers to not only do position, velocity, acceleration, and jerk, but also snap. Whoa! Carry on. Sit wherever you like. At Alicia_Blackburn writes, does anyone really know how gravity works? The answer is
no.
we know with extraordinary precision what gravity will do. We can land spacecraft on Mars, taking into account general and special relativity, the speed of the spacecraft, and the influence of the Earth's gravity on the rate at which we perceive time passing. We can take that into account to have your cell phone tell you which side of the street you're standing on. We can do that. But where gravity actually comes from remains a mystery, Alicia Blackburn. You are living at a time when we may discover how this happens. Last summer, we built these big interferometry gravitational observatories, and we observed the ripple of a very strong gravity wave. All the other energy that we can come across, like the energy, the light that's bouncing off my head and going into this camera lens and then off your computer screen into you, we understand that very well, and we use waves to analyze this flow of energy. Well, people who discovered relativity, Einstein's the famous guy, realized that gravity should perhaps also travel in waves, and we could make predictions with that. And we built these observatories and we discovered them.
Was that my Discord?
Who knows what the future holds? It's an exciting time. Go wild. Shit.
That's interesting because I had no idea that gravity was not understood fully. I thought that gravitational force was understood fully. I mean, I know that it was discovered, it's been measured, but I didn't know that we didn't understand it fully. He's saying, no, actually we don't. That's interesting. But I really like what xQc had to add to that.
Singer
Amazing.
Shay 17. If trees produce oxygen, then can't paper do the same thing if it's made out of trees?
No, because
I
it's destroyed. It's not alive
premise
anymore.
Of your question, but
What
compare
the
how well
fuck?
a fish swims when it's alive with how well it swims
When it's dead.
after you've caught it and killed
That's
it.
right.
We make paper out of dead trees. Dead trees don't move around as much, and they don't produce nearly.
That's zero IQ, dude.
Carry on, Shay. Jules Watcham. I was just thinking, Colin. That's good. I'm glad. As artificial intelligence becomes more intelligent, we might want to stop using the term artificial to describe it. I mean, the best AI is one that learns itself, right? So is it really artificial? Either way, let's not start off on the wrong foot.
He's got a heart.
Artificial intelligence.
A heart icon.
Humans created computers that act as though they are what you and I call intelligent. For me, the line that will be crossed is when our computer systems, which are artificially intelligent, choose to make art. When an artificial intelligence decides to do something just for the sake of doing it, then we will have crossed a line into intelligence.
That's true intelligence. Or it starts replicating itself, but not exactly. It starts making like clones of itself that are different, improved, changed, because that shows a level of consciousness and intelligence. Right? Yeah. I completely agree with what he's saying. It's too bad the streamer has nothing to add.
Freaked out about AI. You get on you go to an airport, you get on the tram.
He looks, dude, hold on. No. Look at him right now. Look at xQc. He looks terrified. He looks like he's lost. He looks like he has no idea where he is or what he's doing. Like at any moment, he thinks someone's going to burst in behind him and abduct him from his room. Look at him. This is a guy with millions of subscribers. This is a guy who has thousands of people who watch him every time he streams. This is what he puts out. He's literally just sitting there making a gawky face, ooh, googly eyes, while the quality content he's watching. So what really, hold on a second. What content are we watching? Are we watching xQc right now? No. You could literally delete him from this video, and we're watching Bill Nye. I hate to say it, there's cases where people say that these React videos are transformative works, correct? I could make a strong legal case this is not a transformative work at all. He hasn't added anything or said anything. He's just watching someone else's work and profiting off of it. As you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, as you can see, people are tipping him. People are doing super chats. I think a ton of people became subs. That's what those party hats were, I think, in the corner, people becoming subs to the channel. So, wow. It's pretty bad. I mean, I think this video is, what, 4 or 5 years old or something? Because from 2018. So you're talking 4 or 5 years old, but, I mean, wow. This was considered content, you know? And people criticizing me. Oh, well, your content is bad, Phil. This was prime content, apparently. The man who sits, eats, and makes that face while he watches someone else's content, and people pay him to do it. Interesting. Now what happened? Oh, fuck. Hold on.
2 minutes. Let's try it.
Hold on.
Some of your science questions. This is
somehow it crapped out. Let me get back. This is the artificial intelligence. Hold on. Okay.
Also, the thing will get more and more complicated. What we don't want is for worldwide systems of the artificial intelligence to become so sophisticated that we can't predict what they're going to do.
That's true.
Or there's so many moving parts you can't tell what's going to happen. That's what we don't want. That's how we get blackouts in electrical grids and stuff. But you're out there, Jules. You're thinking deep thoughts. Way to go. Yo, Tristan.
Yo.
Did I just hear thunder in a snowstorm? Is that a thing? Yeah, it's a thing. Thunderstorms happen when it's cold enough for...
Yes, guys. Commercial airlines are just like freight thing where they move fucking items. Humans are packages.
Snow to form.
It's the same concept.
You know what? You observed that.
What the fuck did he just say? What? That was his commentary? Was that a human thought? Maybe he's the AI. Maybe he's a flawed AI. What the fuck did he just say? I don't even know what he said.
Way to go. Yokimo at YosiFlow
What the fuck, dude? Put more chips in your mouth.
Writes, I have no pinky
I'm done.
toenail. Is this evolution?
Yes.
You'll notice that in evolution, what's an interesting thing, a fascinating thing, a very important idea in evolution, Yokimo. You don't have to be any better than you have to be. This is to say, there is no force, no natural selecting pressure to have superpowers, to have X-ray vision, to be able to run faster than a speeding locomotive, or leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's no motivation for that naturally. You only have to be good enough. So if you're able to live your life, put on shoes, run marathons, whatever you might do, dance, swing dances, maybe the Balboa or the collegiate shag or East Coast swing, you can do all that without a toenail. There's no evolutionary pressure for you to get one. But it's a cool question. And you know what else, Yokimo? I'll bet you really have one. It's just the nail bed's really small. I bet.
I have that.
Latimer Alder.
I have that. Do you guys want to see it?
No.
Want to see it?
No, I don't want to see your
Can't have that,
disgusting
right?
foot. Oh my fucking god, this is content. This was content.
It's so small.
A change.
Oh no.
The Ice Age was a good thing. Why is hashtag climate change today a bad thing? Can anyone explain? First, as we say in comedy, buy the premise, buy the bit. What makes you think climate change that caused the Ice Age was a good thing? Og and Aguette over there in what is now France, they had it going on. They lived in caves, they hunted, gathered, and scavenged. They had sex, they carried on.
I don't know if I can make it through this whole video. How much is left? There's 4 minutes left. Oh no.
People started walking all over the earth. I mean, was that really good? But why? The reason climate change today is a bad thing is the speed. It's the rate at which humans, like you and I, are causing climate change. That's the problem.
Wrong.
You and I are causing climate change. And it's the speed. People are going to have to abandon coastal cities as the floods come in more and more frequently.
Yeah.
The pests that infect our crops, pests are showing up earlier and sticking around later. It's the speed, Latimer Alder, that is the trouble. And whether or not Ice Age ending was a good thing, it depends on whom you ask. Go out there, if you go back in time, take a meeting with Og and Aguette and see if they thought it was great when there were mosquitoes all the time. Sucked, man. At Brunette Loves.
Hey, Zill, good job.
Writes, at Bill Nye, my boyfriend and I have been debating if water is wet.
What?
Oh no, here it goes again, dude.
Thinking it is, but he is adamant water is not wet. Can you please explain the science behind the answer to this question?
Oh.
For me, wet is sort of defined by water, yeah? So if there's water present, it's generally going to be wet.
Wow.
With that said, we in fluid mechanics think of air wetting the surface of a baseball or a bird's wing or an airplane wing. We talk about wetting, and here's the definition of wetting from a fluid mechanical standpoint for your consideration.
Why does he have random emote faces appearing on him? What is that? What the fuck is that? It's intrusive. It's obnoxious. It means nothing. It's not his face. What is that shit? I really feel this is Twitch culture, right? This is like top line Twitch culture. A chat that's uncontrollable, unsortable. You can't make heads or tails of anything happening in that chat because it's a bunch of people just spamming insane nonsense. Look at what it says below me on camera right now. Seriously. Is that supposed to be something intelligent? Right? And then the streamer, camera in the corner, terrible quality. Bad lighting, bad audio quality. Can't even understand a word that he's saying. He's eating as he's watching, and his emotes are popping up, blocking him. What is that? This is like mind-numbing, brain-melting, just nonsense, stupidity, dumb, vapid crap. This is a turd uploaded to the internet. What we're watching right now. Not the Bill Nye portion. That's the portion that should be preserved because it has funny stuff in it. It has interesting science facts. The rest of it is such nonsense. And the fact that anyone watches that or supports it is like, oh my God, this is where we've gone on this planet. That's the level of intelligence of the people watching people on Twitch. It's like, wow, there is a vacuous black hole. Where have the brains gone? Obviously not on this stream. Like, holy shit. What is that emo on his face? Why the fuck is it there? What purpose does it serve? It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It doesn't have any information. It's just nonsense. White noise for the sake of having motion on the screen to pretend like it's a transformative work. Shit.
It's when the fluid sticks to the surface. Air is a fluid. Anything that flows is.
There's another one.
So
There's another one.
To the surface,
what the
then
fuck
surface
is that?
Is wetted. So try this. Get a flask, spin it with water in it, spin it, and you'll see the water takes on some of the spin of the glass because it's stuck to the surface.
Oh.
Take a ping pong ball and give it a lot of spin, either with a racket, a paddle, or your fingers. The air sticking to the surface, wetting the surface, influences its flight.
Interesting.
But now, wax the hood of a car and put water droplets on it.
Watch it.
They beat up.
Yeah.
They don't wet the surface.
Eh.
Thank you for these questions. I'm really glad you all are pondering these things. I am not some brilliant guy, okay? I'm just scientifically literate. But the questions so far have been addressed in science, and they're very well understood, and you and I depend on them. That's why we have shapes made of glass and lenses and drinkable water and electronic computer machines, is because of science! Carry on,
xQc
people.
smile.
Okay.
Middle finger.
Chat, we'll go over this in 10 seconds, okay? It'll take 10 seconds. I go to the airport, okay? I weigh 120,
Feels
okay?
dank, man.
I have a small bag.
He weighs 120. Wait. That's not pounds. He's not American. There's no way that's pounds. That's got to be a different weight, correct? He weighs more than 120 pounds. Please, Lord.
And I'm carrying fucking dumbbells that I bought because they're made out of gold. And I love them, right? And now this is weighing 180. And the guy says, yo, dude, we can't do that, man. This is gonna have to go at the bottom, dude. And that's an extra.
Earth is flat.
That's an extra. You have to pay for this shit. You have to pay this to put it in the fucking luggage box, dude. It's an extra because I already had other clothes that I'm bringing, right? So now I have to pay for this shit,
Sports made
right?
video about
Person
the
number 2 comes in, right? Person number 2 comes in, and that guy's 200 pounds, right? And has no luggage at all. He says zero. He
It
says
sucks
good.
you weren't at
I'm
our
trying
finals.
free.
Hopefully I get to
From a
meet you at
business
TwitchCon
standpoint,
next year,
from a
xQcl.
business standpoint, right? I'm paying this much because it's expensive. It's the weight, right? But I have to pay my ticket and the thing, and he's only paying for his ticket. How is that fair?
Because you are going to sit in a seat next to that man on a plane while that luggage has to be weighed, processed, screened for security, and put onto the plane. The man is going to walk through a metal detector quickly. Boop. Okay, you're fine. You're good on the plane. That luggage constitutes a ton of extra work, a ton of extra manpower, to get it on the plane and secure it safely because now it's extra heavy as well. By the way, I hate this practice because this happened to me when I used to travel for Street Fighter tournaments. I'd bring a bunch of equipment with me, a laptop, a joystick, hell, sometimes I was bringing monitors and shit, and I would try to bring it in my luggage and they'd be like, oh, your luggage is way overweight. You got to pay like $80 extra, $100 extra because your luggage is overweight. And I'd be like, that sucks. But what are you going to do? I'm not going to ship it across the country, fucking, FedEx or USPS and trust them to get it to where I'm going. I want to take it with me, right? So personally, this has happened to me and it's annoying, but his question is the dumbest question ever. The two people are going on the plane, same method, same amount of work, same everything, and you're going to sit next to each other. Therefore, you pay the same amount of money because you are two entities sitting on the same plane. There's no additional work for that to happen, regardless of your body weight. There is insane amounts of extra work that has to happen if your luggage is overweight because now they have to screen it to see what's in there. What the fuck is in there? Weapons, a bomb. They have to look at it now because it's heavy as shit to suspect something like that. And then they have to lug that heavy ass shit onto the plane and find it somewhere safe to put so stuff doesn't get damaged, so it doesn't damage other shit, so it doesn't, fuck the weight of the plane up. I mean, this is common sense. But again, do you think there's common sense anywhere in this content today? He watched a Bill Nye video. He didn't say one intelligent word that was intelligible. I don't even know what he was saying when he was speaking. It was gibberish. It was nonsense. And then he has something to say at the end that has nothing to do with the video. And it's also gibberish and nonsense because any person with a brain in their fucking head can answer it in 2 seconds. I don't like that you have to pay for the luggage, but the reason why the 300-pound man gets on the plane no problem and doesn't pay extra, but he weighs 120 pounds, which is hilarious if he weighs 120 pounds, by the way. What is he, like 4'2"? And he has $180 or 180-pound luggage he has to pay extra. I hate that practice, but it makes sense from any kind of common sense standpoint. And the fact that he has to ask his audience that, like, okay, where does the luggage go the moment you release it? It goes down a conveyor belt. Obviously, there's shit going on back there. That's where the cost goes. Where does the fat guy go? The same place you're going. That's why he paid the same price as you. He's getting on the same plane. Like, 2.2 million subscribers on YouTube. Thousands of viewers every stream. People watching this and supporting it in droves. Amazing level of content.
Hi chat xQcl.
That was an actual piece of content put on his channel. And then he had an outro song. 252,000 views 3 years ago for him to shove chips in his fucking face and do nothing on camera and then ask an insanely stupid question at the end. 16 minutes, 252,000 views. That is remarkable. Remarkable. Okay. I need to watch something else. Wow. I think I feel so stupid for having watched that. Thankfully, the next video is actually a Superman Origins video. Something very different. How long is this one? 8 minutes. Okay, and this will be it. So, by the way, I want to say this to this person who purchased this private react. We are already at like 28 minutes, and I'm going to do this Superman video because this person actually submitted 3 different videos for this one. There's no way I was going to fit this into one video. As you know, for a private react, it's 20 to 30 minutes. We're already going to go way over. I cannot do the 3rd video in this one. I apologize for that, but that happens. You know, if I'm reacting to something, I'm going to give my honest opinion or take on it. It's going to take a while, so we'll do this, and that'll be the end of the video. I'm not going to get to the 3rd one. Okay, here we go. The golden era of Superman. Origins and bio of Kal-El. Interesting.
Kal-El was born on a planet called Krypton.
Correct.
When his father Jor-El discovered Krypton's imminent doom, he sent Superman to Earth in a specially designed rocket ship moments before this alien
We just hit 30
world
minutes,
was
by the way.
destroyed.
Whew.
The infant Kal-El's rocket landed in a small town on Earth called Smallville, where he was found and placed in an orphanage.
An orphanage?
A loving couple named John and Mary Kent adopted him and named the boy Clark.
Ah.
He soon discovered his powers and received training
See, that's
from
different.
a superhero named Superboy.
Remember, in some of the other, I think, Silver Age, he lands on the farm and they just pretend like he's their kid when he's not. Here, he was at an orphanage. They willingly adopted him. That's interesting.
From another world.
It's a twist.
Kal-El was faster than a speeding bullet, strong enough to lift a car over his head, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Sadly, as Clark grew older, Mary Kent died, and when John Kent also grew sick, he had Clark promise to use his superpowers for the good of all. Taking
That
heart
happened
from
in
this
another one too,
promise,
Silver Age, I
Kal-El
think, right?
adopted the identity of Superman and became the first true superhero of this world, beginning his career sometime in the late 1930s. Compared to the Superman of other worlds, Kal-El's powers took a long time to fully develop. Yet by the 1960s, he learned to fly and gained abilities such as
Look at him.
vision and frostbite,
Superman.
and experienced a massive increase in strength and durability, on a level comparable to other Supermen from other worlds. This hero became a popular defender of his beloved home Metropolis, and the entirety of Earth 2. Unique to other versions of Superman, Kal-El could also mold his face to look like other men of a similar build.
What?
He was a founding member of the Justice Society of America and worked with such heroes like Batman, Alan Scott, and Jay Garrick.
So before Justice League.
He served as a hero for many years, battling villains such as Alexi Luthor, Mr. Mixie Spitalik, and the Wizard. As he grew older, Superman gradually began ceding this responsibility to other heroes, such as his cousin Kara, who adopted the superhero identity of Power Girl. Kal-El met and married Lois Lane, a reporter who only discovered the man's secret identity on their honeymoon. At this point, an aging Kal-El had largely retired his identity as Superman, living fully in secret as mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent, who worked at a newspaper publisher called the Daily Star. One day, a being called the Anti-Monitor threatened all of reality.
The Anti-Monitor.
A crisis across infinite Earths began, during which Kal-El's home of Earth 2 was destroyed. Enraged at the loss of his home and wife, Kal-El nearly went insane, but worked through this grief and was of vital importance in saving reality, landing the killing blow against the Anti-Monitor.
Did he? Oh, shit.
In the aftermath of this battle, Alexander Luthor Jr. of another world managed to save Kal-El and his wife, taking them and another hero named Superboy Prime to a paradise pocket dimension where they could live out their lives in peace.
Paradise pocket dimension?
The reality that emerged following this crisis of infinite Earths had all but forgotten these heroes of Earth 2. From this paradise, Kal-El would watch the new Earth that emerged out of this crisis. This idealistic hero grew increasingly disturbed by what he saw as a growing darkness in this new reality. Things weren't simple like when he was Superman, and he began to view the Superman of this new Earth as indecisive and hesitant, while the ills of the world were far more complex than the ones he endured. Meanwhile, Lois Lane began to fall ill in this pocket dimension.
Oh, great.
They escaped this world and emerged into the new Earth. Alexander Luthor, meanwhile, had begun to recreate the multiverse in secret, and when he rebuilt Earth 2, he sent a grateful Kal-El, Lois, and the other heroes originally from there back to it. much to the gratitude of this Superman. Sadly, Lois could not be saved, and she died in her husband's arms,
wow.
happy to have lived such a long and unique life. Nevertheless, Kal-El was enraged, attacking his New Earth counterpart and blaming the other Superman for everything that went wrong.
Why? That's
Eventually,
weird.
Kal-El realized he was being used by Superboy
Look at
Prime
this!
and Alexander Luthor Jr., and survived the events of yet another crisis. He worked with this younger Superman to defeat Doomsday, Bizarro, and later, an increasingly mad Superboy Prime.
Really? This is
The
interesting.
latter, tormented and greatly empowered, managed to defeat Kal-El,
Killed him.
viciously beating the hero,
Wow.
and mortally wounding the man
Wow.
in the process. While Superboy was eventually defeated by the other new Superman, Kal-El died in Power Girl's arms.
Wow.
He affirmed that the new Superman is as true a hero as he ever was, and declares he will always be with his cousin, his last surviving relative. His last words were but a whisper. Lois.
Damn. It's dark. Dark and sad.
Kal-El was honored as a hero on New Earth. but his
What's
quote-
interesting about this is, with DC, since they have all these multiverse plot lines like Crisis on Infinite Earths, they take all the different versions, because there was a golden age, the 1930s Superman, then he was rebooted for the 40s or 50s Silver Age, then there was a later version, but they're all real. They're all actually in the continuity of the DC universe. They're just parallel dimensions, and then sometimes with these Crisis on Infinite Earths and events, they bring them back, which is crazy to think that they have all this continuity between all the characters. It's nuts.
was later used by the Black Lanterns for their own sinister
They
purposes.
brought him back as with the Black
He
Lanterns.
and a
Jesus.
similarly undead version of his wife attacked Connor Kent before they were defeated.
Wow.
After the events of Convergence, Earth 2 was restored and Kal-El with it.
What?
However, the location of this world and Kal-El's whereabouts are currently unknown.
So he's alive again, but not in the mainstream plotline anymore. Huh.
Hello,
Was that it?
welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and thank you for watching my origins and bio.
That's it. I don't know why, I don't know what else is left here. He's just talking. There's nothing to do with the origin story. That's interesting. I didn't know any of that. Because, I don't know. I don't read DC. I never really did. Back in the day, I was only reading some Superman stuff, and that was it. So I didn't know about any of the different timelines, Supermans, and how they all intersected with the Crisis plotline. That's really neat to me, to know that he came back multiple times, right? That's cool. It's also dark with some of the messed up stuff that these characters go through. It's like, oh my God. All right, so anyway, to the anonymous patron, thank you. Great video submission. Sorry, I mean, as you can see, we're at 37 minutes. I was supposed to finish this around 30. I went extra for you, but I hope that you liked it. And man, I've never seen xQc before, and I can tell you after today, I don't ever want to see another thing from him again. Oh my God. Like, what was that duty? I don't think you could describe it any worse. Like, it's duty. Wow. And that's popularity on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.